If you're watching this video on how to solve the 4x4 Rubik's Cube, also known as the Rubik's Revenge, I'm sure it's safe to say that you already know how to solve the 3x3, or at least know the basics. If you don't know how to solve the 3x3, please watch my other videos to help you out. Either way though, I'm going to show you the easiest way I learned how to solve the Rubik's Revenge. The 4x4 may seem intimidating as a beginner, but it pretty much turns into a 3x3 halfway through solving, except with a couple speed bumps, which are called parities. Not every time you solve the 4x4 you'll get a parity though. Now as we go through each step in this video, I'll explain more about what we'll be doing and the differences with the 4x4 Rubik's Revenge. As I'm sure you know, the 3x3 has just one centerpiece that never moves, meaning that on most cubes the opposite of yellow is going to be white, the opposite of blue is green, and then the opposite of red is orange. So what does that mean to solve the four centerpieces on the 4x4? Since the Rubik's Revenge doesn't have a set centerpiece, we need to make our own and then confirm that we have the colors on their right sides. For instance, I'm going to go ahead and create a white side by getting the four white centerpieces in the top layer. Now to do this, it doesn't matter what side we have as the top layer since we're just starting off. So let's just go ahead and create this one as the top side. Here's another white centerpiece. Let's bring that up here. When you bring it up, you want to make sure that they are next to each other like this, not diagonal. So let's go ahead and rotate that back down and then go back up so that they are next to each other in a horizontal position. Next, we need to find another centerpiece. Let's rotate that up. Alright, and then there's just one more, which is actually on here on the bottom. When the piece is on the bottom, let's go ahead and rotate this top face so that these three pieces are facing the top left direction. And then the bottom piece, the last piece, rotate that one to where it's on the corner, which is closest to us in the left. So when you rotate these left two 180 degrees, they're next to each other. So let's go ahead and do that again. Rotate 180 degrees. You want to rotate this out of the way because we want to save those. And then rotate these left two again 180 degrees back so that we will be able to complete the white side. If you got the last white piece, which is right here, and the three up here, I'm going to go ahead and show you that move now. After you've gotten the three white centerpieces in the top layer, and you have one left which is on the side, what you want to do now is go ahead and rotate the top layer so that the three are facing the top left direction, and then this last piece, whatever color it is, even if it's not white and we're working on other pieces, make sure that they're facing the top left direction as well, just like the top layer is, so that when you rotate the left side, it'll go horizontal next to each other instead of diagonal. So let's go ahead and rotate this up, rotate the top out of the way, and then rotate the left side back down. After choosing what side that we wanted the white to be on, let's go ahead and solve the yellow side because we know that yellow is always opposite from white. So let's go ahead and find some other yellow centerpieces. Here's one here. When we rotate this right side up, we want them again to be horizontal from each other, not diagonal. So they are in the correct positioning, but as you notice we messed up the white side on the bottom. So to fix this, let's move the right, or the top layer, to the right or clockwise so that they're on the left side now, and then we can rotate our right side back down to fix the white. Here's another yellow centerpiece. When you have the two in the top already that are next to each other like this, and we have the one right here, make sure that they're in the same row. So when we rotate it up, move it to the left or out of the way, so that we can rotate this right side back down and fix our white. And once again, just like what we just showed you with the white side, we have the three in the top with the one left over. And when it's like this, rotate the top side so that the three pieces are facing the top left, and have this last piece also in the top left direction. So when you rotate it up, it'll be next to each other like that. And then you could rotate it to the right and then rotate this left side back down to fix the white. And now we solved the yellow as well. After the yellow and white centers are complete, we need to solve another color, and it doesn't matter which color we solve first. I normally just start off with the color that's closest to completion, and it looks like in this case it is the blue, since there's already two next to each other like that. So we're going to go ahead and make this the blue side. But once again, it doesn't matter what side you make the blue side, because none of them are complete as of yet. So with this being the blue side, we already have two blue, and let's go ahead and find another blue. Another thing to watch out for is that you don't have to worry about how it's oriented as of right now either, because when we rotate this up, it's not going to mess up the yellow sides because we're just going this way. Alright, so now we have just one blue left, which is going to be right here. Alright, so once again, as I've already showed you, when we have the 3 in the top, have it facing the top left direction, and then have this 1 that's left over also in the top left direction. If you wanted to have it both in the top right hand direction, you could do that as well. Just make sure they're in the same layer so that, or the same side, so that when you rotate it, they'll be horizontal next to each other. And then you'll rotate it out of the way because we rotated the right side initially, so we're gonna have to rotate it back. Alright, so now we have the blue side completed, we have the white side, and the yellow side. The last step in solving the centers is very important. You need to make sure you put the red and orange in its correct positioning. If you don't, then the cube will not solve correctly. Just remember, if you solve with the yellow on top like what we're doing now and the blue is facing us, red will always be to the right and orange will always be to the left. If you solve with the white on top and the blue is facing you, then the red will be to the left and the orange will be to the right. But let's go ahead and go back to the yellow on top with the blue facing us and make our red side. We already have one red centerpiece here, so let's go ahead and get this red up here next to it. So as before, we need to make sure that we rotate this red so that when we rotate the right side up, it's going to be horizontal next to each other instead of diagonal. Now when we have that, let's go ahead and rotate the top to the right so we can get the red safe on the left side, and we can rotate our right side back down because we don't want to mess up our blue in the back. Alright, now we have two red on the bottom. When they're on the bottom side and the two up here, make sure that they're in the same row. So when you rotate it 180 degrees, you rotate the top 2 times because you want them both together. Rotate it back 180 degrees, and then you've completed the red side and we have the blue side. So just to make sure we have it correct, we have the yellow on top, blue facing us, and then the red on the right side of blue, just how we want it. Next we could do let's go ahead and do the orange side, which is going to be opposite from red. So we know that this side is going to be orange. Alright, so with the side that we need to complete on top, orange needs to go here. Let's go ahead, rotate this left side up, move it out of the way 2 times because there's 2 pieces, rotate it back down. Alright, so now we just have one more piece left. And just like what we mentioned before, when there's 1 piece left and there's 3 together, have them point in the top left directions, and then you're going to have this one last piece also in the top left direction, so that when we rotate it up, it'll be horizontal next to each other. Rotate it once out of the way to make sure that they're safe when we rotate it back down, and there you have it. We have the orange completed now. Alright, so that's actually going to complete the last one as well. So just to make sure we have it correct, we have the yellow on top, we have the green, opposite of green is blue, and red is always right of blue, and then orange is always the left of blue. So we do know that we have it correct. The Rubik's Revenge has 2 edge pieces on each side of the cube, whereas the 3x3 only has 1 edge piece. What we need to do is pair up each of these edge pieces with its matching other piece. Throughout the entire step, don't worry too much about how the cube is oriented. We're just going to go ahead and focus on pairing up the edges. I normally start off by pairing the edge pieces that have white in it, but it doesn't matter which ones you do first. But since we have a white piece already in front, let's go ahead and just do this one here. So here is white on this side and blue on this side. So we have to find the other edge piece that looks just like this, which is right here on the top. Now what we need to do is make sure that the edge pieces are on each side. They could either be like this or at a diagonal. But let's go ahead and move this edge piece so it's in the same face as this other one. So we have it here and we have it here. So in this situation, it is going to be diagonal, which is what we want because we'll be able to pair them together now. As you can see, we messed up the middle part there, but we'll fix that here shortly. I'm just going to show you what we have to do. Alright, so as I was mentioning before, we could have them diagonal here or have them straight across right here. And I'll show you both of those moves. But for now, let's go ahead and just slice this edge piece over here and get that paired up. And we'll fix the middle here shortly. Now after these edge pieces are fixed or paired together, we're going to want to put them in the top layer. So let's rotate this left side up and then move this top layer over so that we can keep these together. Essentially what we're doing is replacing these with a broken edge piece. And these will go back down here because we initially moved the left side up. So let's bring it back down. And then we could go ahead and fix our centerpiece. Alright, now we have the white and the blue pair together now. So let's go ahead and here's a green and white piece. So the other is right here. So let's go ahead and rotate this 180 degrees so they're both in the same face. Alright, so now we have where they're directly across from each other. And when we have this, we need to do this move, which is left counterclockwise, right, up, front, up counterclockwise, and then left clockwise. So now we have them diagonal, just how we need to. Now what we have to do is, just like before, we could slice this middle layer right here over so that they're paired. You could go from here to that way if you prefer that way better, but I'm just used to doing it from right to left. So we already did that. Now what we have to do is just put this pair right now in the top layer so it's out of the way. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and rotate this top so it's out of the way. And we're going to bring in a broken pair and replace. And now we could go ahead and fix the middle layer. Alright, so now we have this pair, this pair. Alright, here's white and orange. So the other white and orange piece is right here on top. So they're already on the same face, so that's good. They're directly across from each other. And again, this move is left counterclockwise, right, up, front, up counterclockwise, and then left clockwise. Now it's diagonal, just how it should be. As I was showing you before, you can slice it that way if you want to. I'm just used to doing it from right to left again, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, now let's go ahead and rotate it up into the top layer and then get it out of the way. But now since we have another pair, we don't want to bring that one down, so keep on rotating. And then here's a broken pair right here. So we'll put that one down. And then we could go ahead and fix the middle layer. Alright, so it looks like the last white piece is the white and red. Alright, so the white and red is right there. Alright, so obviously we have to get this piece on this side. So let's go ahead and rotate this right side up, this front to the side, and then back down so that we could get it on the same face. This white and red, white and red. they're diagonal. So let's go ahead and go from right to left. They're all paired up. And here's a broken piece right here. See all these other ones? They're all paired. So what we're going to do is replace this with these, and just by doing that, you rotate in the top layer. I'm going to rotate the top so we can bring back down these two broken pieces. And then let's go ahead and fix the middle layer now. Alright, now since we have all the whites done, let's go ahead and work on some other pairs. It looks like the yellow and green are already done, so that's good. Alright, so we have a red and yellow. So the other red and yellow is right here. So rotate so that they're on the same face again, just like the white pieces. And they are directly across from each other. So let's go ahead and do the same move that we've been doing earlier, which is left counterclockwise, right, up, front, up counterclockwise, and then left clockwise. Alright, so now they are diagonal. So go ahead and just slice over this middle layer so that they're the same. Rotate it up into the top layer. Rotate it out of the way so that we could bring down a broken pair. And then we could go ahead and fix our middle piece. Alright, so next we have orange and green. And it looks like orange and green is going to be right here on the bottom. Alright, so what we need to do is, just like before, we're going to have the edge pieces on the opposite side of each other. So let's rotate this right side up so that we can get this orange and green piece on this side, on the left side, and then we can rotate the right back down so that the orange and green pieces are on the same face. And now we could go ahead and slice it over so that they pair up. Now let's go ahead and rotate it into the top layer. If we were to rotate it in top layer right now, we'd get rid of the only broken piece that's in the top layer. We don't want to do that, so let's rotate this top over so that the paired edges will go down once we rotate it in the top layer. And then we'll move it out of the way. And then we'll replace it with this broken pair. And then we'll bring it back down. And then we can fix our middle. Alright, so now we have a orange and blue. And orange is blue. The orange and blue one's already on the same face, so that's good. And we're going to go ahead and just do the move that we've been doing, which is left counterclockwise, right, up, front, up counterclockwise, and then left clockwise. So opposites, go ahead and slice it so that they're matching. And in the top layer here, it looks like all of them are already solved or paired together. So what we need to do now is, you might have a different way of doing it, but go ahead and just flip the cube over. And or before we do that, I'm going to just go ahead and put it back. I'm going to make the centers the same. So everything is already solved in the top layer as far as pairing together. So I'm going to flip it over. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and slice it so it's paired. So now when we get into the top layer, we have a broken pair that we could go ahead and replace it with. So we'll put that back down, and then we'll fix our middle. Here we have 3 edge pieces left, and we're trying to pair this piece up with this blue and orange piece. So if we were to slice it over, we can't bring it up into the top layer at this point because all of these are already paired up. So if we were to unslice that and then flip over the cube, we'll see that all of these edge pieces are also paired up. So what that means is that there is an edge piece in here somewhere that's not that's not already paired, which we'll have to find, which is actually right here in the back right hand side. So we have these two edge pieces that are broken. We also have this edge piece that's broken. And since we're ready to pair up these two, what we have to do is put this broken piece into the top layer so that when we pair up these two edge pieces, we'll be able to rotate this one into place. So let's go ahead and just slice that over so that we can pair up both of these. Now what we have to do is rotate up into the top layer and then rotate the top side so that this broken pair can go into place. So when we rotate the left side back down, then they'll be where they should go, and then we'll go ahead and just fix the middle. If you ended up with your last two edge pieces that are diagonal from each other, you have to do this move. Right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, front counterclockwise, up, front. Now as you can see, it placed these edge pieces directly across from each other. And then to do that move is take the bottom two layers here, you're going to rotate them clockwise, right, front counterclockwise, up, right counterclockwise, front, and then take these bottom two again and you're going to rotate them counterclockwise. Here in the third step is when we're able to solve the Rubik's Revenge as if it were a 3x3, except for if we get a parity, which I'll show you each of those possibilities here shortly. But for now, let's go ahead and keep the yellow on top with the blue facing us, and then place the white edge pieces on the bottom layer in their correct positioning. If we do it correctly, then we'll end up with a white cross that you're most familiar with. If you're not familiar with solving the 3x3 Rubik's Cubes or getting the white cross on the bottom, go ahead and check out my intro to F2L video, and obviously you'll be able to check out on how to do F2L as well. But for now, let's go ahead and get the white cross on this 4x4. So with the red here and the white, red is on this side, we'll go ahead and rotate that over there, rotate all the way down. We have the green and white is in the back opposite of blue, rotate that down. Then we have blue right here, rotate that down on the bottom, and then orange on the bottom as well. So now since we have the white cross, we're going to go ahead and solve for F2L. After completing the white cross that we did in the last segment, we're going to go ahead and solve for F2L now. So by doing that, we need to look for one of these edge pieces that doesn't have any yellow in it. So here's a red and blue. Let's go ahead and go to the red side. And then blue's on top, so we know that these two edge pieces need to go right here. So let's go ahead and rotate this right side down into position. Now when we do that, we notice that the white cross got ruined. So let's go ahead and rotate down into the bottom layer so that these two are safe. Go ahead and rotate this right side back up so we can fix that portion of the cross. And then this front side, let's go ahead and rotate down so it's back into position as well, so we can fix that white cross there. Alright, so now we have these two edge pieces where they're supposed to go. Now we need to find the white corner piece with the blue and red in it, which is right here. So let's rotate this to the right, top right hand side, right above where it's supposed to go. Now when the white is facing us, let's go ahead and do this move set here, which is up counterclockwise, right, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up 2 times, right, up counterclockwise, and then right counterclockwise. Completed that. So let's go ahead and find another edge piece with no white, no yellow in it. So here's blue and orange. Let's go to the blue side, and orange is on top, so we know that it needs to go right here. So rotate down towards us, and then go into the bottom layer to keep it safe so we could fix our white cross that we messed up. and then rotate this front back down. There we go. Now they're into position, and the piece is already actually where it's supposed to go, and the white is facing us again. So let's go ahead and do up counterclockwise, right, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up 2 times, right, up counterclockwise, and then right counterclockwise. And then another edge piece with no yellow, which is red and green. Let's go to the red side. And then green is right here, so let's go ahead and rotate this left, the left face towards us. So these edge pieces are in position. Rotate to the bottom layer to keep these safe so we could fix our cross again on the bottom. And now let's go ahead and find our white corner piece that has red and green in it, which is in the bottom corner. So let's rotate this right side up, out of the way, so we can rotate it back down to fix the cross, and then rotate to where the corner piece with the white and green and red is on the top in the right hand corner. When the white is facing the top, let's go ahead and do this move: right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right, up, right counterclockwise. And now we have one more, which is orange and green. Go to the orange side. We know that the green and orange need to go here. So let's rotate that down. Go to where it's safe. Rotate it back up so we could fix the white cross on the bottom. And now, once again, we have the white facing the top direction, which is R, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right, up, right counterclockwise. If your white corner piece is in the correct positioning, just needs to be flipped around in the bottom layer and the white is facing right, you want to go ahead and do this move, which is right, up 2 times, right, up, right counterclockwise, up, right, up 2 times, right 2 times. If the white piece is in the bottom layer in the correct positioning as well, with the white piece facing us, let's go ahead and do this move. Right 2 times, up 2 times, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up 2 times, and then right counterclockwise. When you have the correct corner piece in the top right hand direction with the white facing right, you want to take the first 3 rows and go ahead and move them clockwise, and then do right counterclockwise, up, right, up 2 times, right counterclockwise, up, right. Here in step 4, we have the first 3 layers completed, and now we're working to complete the yellow face. You may have ended up with something familiar like the hook, the bar, or the lonely yellow center. If you did get one of those 3, solve how you normally would, but just so you know, you may end up with a parity later on, so watch out for that. If you got a parity right away, you'll notice 2 of the yellow edge pieces will be flipped around towards us instead of on top, which is where they should be. Whenever you get this parity, make sure that you have the edge pieces that are flipped around facing us, because if you have them facing that direction or behind us, it's not going to solve how it should. So once again, make sure that the flipped around edge pieces are facing us, and then go ahead and perform this move, which is this right middle layer. Go ahead and rotate it counterclockwise, up 2 times. This left middle layer, rotate it clockwise, front 2 times, the left middle layer counterclockwise, front 2 times, this right middle layer 2 times, up 2 times, right middle layer 1 time, up 2 times, this middle right layer counterclockwise, up 2 times, the front 2 times, this right middle layer right here 2 times, and then this front face 2 times to where it's completed, and then you'll have a recognizable pattern. If you get the bar, make sure that you rotate the top layer so that the bar is facing the left and right directions. Go ahead and do this move. Front, right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, and then front counterclockwise. If you get the hook, make sure that you keep these yellow pieces facing the top left directions. Sometimes this will not be yellow, but if it is, just keep it in the same position and go ahead and do this move, which is front, up, right, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, and then front counterclockwise. Here we have the lonely yellow centerpieces, and when we have this, we could either do the hook move or the bar move. Each one of those is going to get us to the next move that we already know, but let's go ahead and just do the bar move now, which is front, right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, and then front counterclockwise. And as you can see, it brought us to the hook. Let's just make sure it's pointing in the top left directions, and then go ahead and do the hook move, which is front, up, right, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, and then front counterclockwise. If you get where the yellow pieces are almost all complete on top except for these last 2 corners, make sure you rotate the top layer so that the 2 non-yellow pieces are in the bottom left corner and bottom right corner, with the 2 yellow pieces facing us directly in the middle. And then go ahead and do this move. Right, up, right counterclockwise, up, right, up 2 times, right counterclockwise. When you end up with a yellow cross on the top, you want to make sure that you rotate the top layer so that the yellow piece is facing the left direction. So you have it in this corner right here, facing left. And then go ahead and do this move. Right, up, right counterclockwise, up, right, up 2 times, and then right counterclockwise. Okay, now we ended up with a fish. And when you have the fish, go ahead and rotate the top layer so that the head of the fish is facing bottom left and the tail is in the top right. And go ahead and do this move. Right, up, right counterclockwise, up, right, up 2 times, and then right counterclockwise. And then as you see, we have the fish again. There are other moves where you could go ahead and bypass doing the fish twice, and I will make another video on that later. But for now, let's go ahead and just complete this fish the normal way again, which is going to be R, U, right counterclockwise, up, right, up 2 times, and then right counterclockwise. If you've watched my other videos on how to solve the 3x3 Rubik's Cube, I do apologize that these steps are a little redundant for you. I just want to stay consistent in hopes that this will limit the confusion for the ones who aren't familiar with the 3x3. But continuing on, after we completed the top yellow layer, we need to solve the corners if they're not already solved. If by chance you got another parody, I'll show you those moves shortly. For now though, to get the same colors matching in each corner, it doesn't matter how we have the cube oriented, let's just go ahead and perform this move, which is right counterclockwise, front, right counterclockwise, back 2 times, right, front counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, back 2 times, and then right 2 times. As you can see, we still have the yellow on top completed. Even though that these colors aren't complete, or the same color, if we flip the cube around, we should see a side that does, which, yes, we have 2 reds. And if you have the 2 reds or 2 other colors that are the same, go ahead and rotate them to that side. It could be all the way across too, so these could be red as well, but just flip them to the same color side. And now when you have them in the corner, go ahead and flip them to the back, and then go ahead and perform the same move, which is right counterclockwise, front, right counterclockwise, back 2 times, right, front counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, back 2 times, and then right 2 times. And now we'll have the same colors on each side of the corners. And then we could go ahead and just flip it to their side. And then you'll see we have one completed side completely in the back. And then you'll either end up with another parody, or you'll end up with just a normal move, which is going to be from counterclockwise, because the red needs to go here and the blue needs to go here. So it's in this rotation. But I'll show you those moves right now. After completing the last move, you'll notice that we have a completed full side. And if you have the completed side, just make sure it's facing the back away from you. And then you can perform the counterclockwise move, because we are going from left to right, which is a counterclockwise rotation. And to do this move, it's going to be right, up counterclockwise, right, up, right, up, right, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, and then right 2 times. In this scenario, it looks like it did go ahead and complete the cube. Sometimes after you do that move, it may look like it would complete it, but it'll actually be a parody, which will be either these 2 flipped around or these 2. But I'm going to go ahead and show you that here shortly after I go ahead and show you the move where if you had to go into a clockwise rotation instead of counterclockwise. Okay, here is the clockwise rotation. Again, you'll have the completed full side in the back facing away from you, and then you're going to go ahead and perform this move. Right 2 times, up, right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up, and then right counterclockwise. Here I'm going to show you the last 2 parodies you may end up with while solving your 4x4 Rubik's Revenge. This first one is where the 2 edge pieces are going to be flipped around from each other. And when you have this, you want to have the edge piece facing you and then the other one on this opposite side. Instead of like this, you want to have it like this. So go ahead and rotate it correctly, and then we want to take these 2 layers, rotate them 2 times, and then you want to take these 2 layers and rotate them 2 times, up 2 times, this middle right layer 2 times, up 2 times, these 2 right layers 2 times, and then these 2 up layers 2 times. Now for the third and the last parody, which is where we're going to have the last 2 edge pieces in the top row just flipped around. In order to solve this parody correctly, what we have to do is have these edge pieces facing the back direction, and then these edge pieces will be facing right. And then we could go ahead and perform the same move that we did for the second parody, which is taking these top 2 layers, go ahead and rotate them twice. These 2 right layers, go ahead and rotate them twice. Up 2 times, this middle right layer 2 times, up 2 times, these 2 right layers 2 times, and then these 2 top layers 2 times. And then what we're going to have is a full completed side, which we'll have facing back, And then we'll have to see if we have to go counterclockwise or clockwise, which in this case it's going to be counterclockwise again, which is going to be right, up counterclockwise, right, up, right, up, right, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, and then right 2 times. If you end up with your pieces that are completely opposite from each other on all sides, you want to go ahead and just do that parity move twice. The one where we take the top 2 layers at the same time and go up 2 times. Take these 2 right layers 2 times. Up 2 times. This middle right layer 2 times. Up 2 times. These 2 right layers 2 times, and then the 2 up layers 2 times. And then as you can see, we completed 2 of the sides, and now we just have that parity move. And then we'll just do this move one more time, which is up, the 2 up ones 2 times, the 2 right ones 2 times, up 2 times, this middle right layer 2 times, up 2 times, these 2 right layers 2 times, and then the 2 top layers 2 times. The last move I want to show you looks very similar to the one that we just had, but in this situation we don't have a parity. We just have to perform either the counterclockwise rotation or the clockwise rotation. It doesn't matter which one we do first, so let's go ahead and just start off with the clockwise rotation, which is right 2 times, up, right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up, right counterclockwise. After we do that, we're going to see a completed side. And once we see the completed side, go ahead and have that facing back. And then we need to see if we need to do the clockwise or the counterclockwise. And then in this situation, it's going to be, again, the clockwise rotation, which is right 2 times, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up, right counterclockwise.